there, Skeleton Key here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to start working on my February TBR. And this I will not be finishing up super quick here, and that is because I have signed up to be a judge for the BookTube prize. And I don't know yet which books will be in the running. The opening field of 48 in each category will be announced on February 1st. And then later that day, I will find out if I have been selected to participate as a judge in the octafinals round. So until February 1st, I really have no idea which 6, if any, books will be assigned to me from these big long lists. So I'm trying not to get myself really bogged down with a whole lot. However, I do have book club reading set already for a bunch of things. So I'll go over that right now. So this is what I have so far. And I've already started on Cold Sassy Tree for my neighborhood book club. And let's see, also The Weight of Ink. I have started reading that, listening to that on Hoopla. La Peste, I have started reading that. I have the Kindle version. That actually will probably be pushed out to March, because that one we want to meet in person, and that's just really a bad idea right now. I have also started on The House in the Cerulean Sea. I've borrowed that on Libby, and that's for Strange Worlds. I have Molded to Death waiting for me at the library. And some of these I have on hold, but they're not ready for me yet. I'm hoping that changes. And I do have a scheduling conflict between Tinder is the Flesh and Guns, Germs, and Steel. I believe Tinder is the Flesh is about cannibalism, and I already own a copy of Guns, Germs, and Steel. So that's probably going to win that one. So that's what I have for starters, just at the moment. I probably won't continue until the 1st, and that's when I'm going to know if I'm judging the octafinals round, and if so, which 6 books I will be assigned. So until then. So I was selected to be a judge in the octafinals round of the BookTube prize. So that is 6 books that I need to read this month and next month. So I'm going to try to average 1 book a week on that. I can tell you which group I'm judging and everything, but I am choosing not to. I'm going to save all of that for my BookTube prize vlog. But I did go ahead and start putting together the rest of my February TBR. And so now really the only rolling I'm going to have to do is for the Read Your Shelf challenge. So I'm going to do that, and just like last month, it's like behind me, you can see my wall of shame. And so I'm going to be rolling dice to narrow it down to 1 single book. And that is my February read for Read Yourself. January's read, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I did not finish that in January, so it's still on my TBR for February, and now I'm just adding to it with my February Read Yourself read. So let's go do that. So as you may recall, I've got 5 shelves double stacked on my wall of shame here. And so first I'm going to roll a d6, and that will tell us which shelf. And if I get a 6, I roll again. D6. Shelf 3. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's this shelf right here. I am not including the Kindles. I'm going to roll a d6 again. If it's even, it's the back. And if it's odd, it's one of these two. And we'll worry about Shirley Jackson when we get there. Odd. So, these two. Okay, so I have evened it out a little bit. And this, we're gonna just consider this 3 different volumes for the purposes of this roll. So, even will be the stack on the right, odd will be the stack on the left. Odd, stack on the left. And I think, do I have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10. So I need to go grab a D10. Okay, there is my D10. And we will be counting from the top down. What is that? 6? Yes, that is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, the sundial. Okay, so the sundial by Shirley Jackson. And I started reading this for a readathon last October. I'm wanting to say it was Readers Imbibing Peril. That sounds right. I didn't get very far at all. In fact, there's not even a bookmark in here, so I'm just going to start over with it. But since this was part of a TBR game, this now is in the running for me to use for the TBR game Square on Becca's Bookoplathon that I am playing. So either this or The Brave at this point. Either one of those will count for that roll. Okay, so I'm going to try to go through my print TBR for February. And this is kind of sort of in the order that I should be reading them, which is not going to happen, but yeah, let's just call it that. I do have a couple secret TBR books over here. One of them has to go back to the library today. Okay, so first, Deadly Focus by Sue Hinken, and this is catch-up reading for one of the Sisters in Crime book clubs. And I was supposed to read this last month so that I could read the second book in the series this month, but I have a feeling I'm still going to be behind by the time we get to book club. The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. And this was a Literally Dead book club selection, and I got it back from the library, and I haven't had a chance to get into it, and now it's got to go back to the library. The Porpoise by Mark Haddon, and this was a Folger book club read that I didn't get to. Well, that I got started on, and it was intriguing me. I can't decide if I should try to go read the Shakespearean material that is related to it or just read it. I don't know. Cold Sassy Tree by Olive Ann Burns. I am a little ways into this and really enjoying it, and all of us in the book club asked for another month because we didn't get a chance to finish it. None of us did. So this got pushed out to next month's meeting for discussion, so yay. The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, another book club read. This was Effed Up Book Club. I think this is a Sisters in Crime book club later this month. I forget which one, but this is the third in the Boulder Winery series. And I think, does it have recipes? I think these usually have recipes. Yes. Red Velvet Valentine Cupcakes. Yeah, so this is definitely a this month book club read. The Right Sort of Man by Alison Montclair. I know nothing about this book. So this is for Traps and Trenchcoats book club. The Order of Time by Carlo Rovelli. I've been wanting to read something by him for a long time. He's an Italian, physicist? an Italian theoretical physicist. And he is also the head of the quantum gravity group at the Centre de Physique Théorique de... Oh, okay, that's in English. I was like, wait, what? Of Aix-Marseille University, and one of the founders of the loop quantum gravity theory. This was on the staff picks shelf at the library, and I was like, might as well. Let's do it. We'll see if I actually get to it. So Meg K, let's see if you and I are on the same wavelength this month. And also for the library, this is for the Old Town Library Book Club, which is virtual these days. Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. This is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize. I have heard, until fairly recently, I had heard nothing but glowing reviews of this book. In the last, couple years, I have been hearing all sorts of awful things about Jared Diamond and this book, and that this is just kind of trash. So I will make up my own mind. The Mysterious Affair at Styles for my Chronological Christie challenge. And I have already reread this for the Chronological Christie challenge, but I'm wanting to go back and kind of do a comparison. These are two different editions, and I'm going to listen to the audiobook and maybe go back and forth as I listen and read along. Maybe a chapter in this one, maybe a chapter in this one, go back and forth, and just see how different the versions are. Because Christie's work does get edited kind of whimsically at times. So, Oh, and I've skipped over The Night of Many Endings, which is for High Tea Book Club, and I have that on order at Old Firehouse. Should be coming in within the next few days, but I do not have a copy of it yet. And also Where the Deer and the Antelope Play by Nick Offerman. I have holds on it for both the audiobook and the print copy at the library. I don't really want to buy it. I don't, and I'm hoping I get the print copy first, because Nick Offerman's voice, I don't really know anything about Nick Offerman, but I've heard him narrate things before, and his voice, no matter what he's saying, his voice just screams cranky old boomer to me. So I don't know that I will respond well to the audiobook. And it's a total unknown, and I don't want to go spending $30 on a hardcover. So I'm hoping the library comes through for me, because that is for the nonfiction book club this month. And I've also skipped over Tinder is the Flesh is I don't remember the author, but that's for Effed Up Book Club. That is the same night as the Old Town Library Book Club, and so I probably won't be reading that, but I have a hold on it at the library, so yeah, we'll see. I will, if I get a copy of it in time, I will at least try to read it, but it's about cannibalism, and I'm like, that's a little too effed up for me. There are 6 books for the BookTube prize that I have to read in February and March, and I'm trying to get all of them in print. I figure that's the best way for me to really do it justice for judging, is to have them all in the same format and be able to go back and forth and compare. So I have holds on those at the library. I have already read one of them, but I listened to it on audiobook, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably save that to last, but I am planning to get the hard copy of that. The Silkworm. It's a challenge prompt, and it's the only thing I have that fits it. So, The Family Trade by Charlie Strauss. And now we're probably getting into territory here where you've seen a lot of these books before in TBR videos. Rift Worlds Online, Book 1, Space Opera Insertion. Right is Rain. An arc. It's a double arc, but all I have to read is Right as Rain. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I am looking forward to finishing this one up. So I will probably end up bumping this up on my priority list. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I was supposed to read this last month. I did not. A Master of Jinn by P. Jelly Clark. I'm really enjoying this, so I hope I get back to it soon. Blanca y Roja by Anna Marie by Anna Marie McLemore. And I was really getting into this. I'm not really much of one for fairy tale or folk tale retellings, but I really like their writing style, and it's just amazing. I still have not even started on Fairweather. So my Darkover project, The Bloody Sun, is up next. At least it's short. I shouldn't be taking such an awful attitude towards it, but... Oh, Siren's reading A Feast of Sorrows. I never did get started on this last spooky season, and I kind of want to save it for spooky season because it seems very, very spooky, but I want to read it. Swim in a Pond in the Rain. The Island Kitchen. The Martian Chronicles. That's for a book club. The Sundial by Shirley Jackson. I'd never even heard of this one before last fall. And, ooh, this is a new edition. So Brian and I are trying to learn ASL. Brian actually knows quite a bit, more than I ever learned. He took an actual class, and this was their textbook. So we're just starting with that and trying to get me up to speed a little bit. But so here is my print TBR for February, at least what I have so far. So it's a lot. It's too much for 1 month, but that's what I always do. Went over to Old Firehouse, picked up another book for my February TBR. And this is for High Tea Book Club. And I got to see my friend Elliot. Okay, let's get this February list wrapped up now that we're into the second half of February now. So you've seen my print collection for February reading, and I'm clicking through those, and of course working on my BookTube prize reading, and some of those, yeah, I'm gonna have to buy some of them because they're not coming through for me from the library. So, oh well. I kind of expected that because, you know, they're newer titles and they're obviously very popular titles. Okay, so that's my print stuff. Audio. So I had made quite a bit of a dent into The Weight of Ink, and that was for the Folger Shakespeare Libraries Book Club, Words, Words, Words. I did not finish it. Oh my god, that thing is really long. It's, I don't know, 20 some hours long, something like that. It's like I've been listening for a long time, and I still have a lot to go. So I did not finish that in time to discuss it at book club, but I did get a lot out of the discussion. It was really interesting, and I think it will actually help me understand some of the things later, because a lot of it hinges around Jewish history, and I don't know much about Jewish history. You know, even on my own, though, I was picking up quite a bit from the book. I think it does a really good job of explaining a lot of things. And that's by Rachel Kadish, I think is her name. I'm listening to Her Last Flight, and that is for a book club. And I also have the ebook of that. I got that as a as a digital arc from NetGalley. So sometimes I'll read along with the arc. What I have been reading along in the digital arc is really clean copy. It's very polished. The Mysterious Affair at Styles. I have those two print copies, and so and I mean there are so many versions, audiobook versions. I just picked one, and so I'll listen to that and then read. A friend recommended to me, hi Edie, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. And so I went ahead. It was on Hoopla, so I just went ahead and downloaded it. But it's pretty long. It's 20 some hours, I believe. So I don't anticipate even if I get it started this month, I don't anticipate finishing it this month. It's gonna probably take me a renewal or two. But it does sound interesting, and that is nonfiction. Then Seven Eves is on the list. Yeah, I need to get started on that. And that's by Neil Stevenson. Where the Deer and the Antelope Play. I've pretty much at this point, I've got a week to read, less than a week to read it for book club. So at this point, I've pretty much resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to have to burn a Libro credit and listen to it, even though his voice doesn't really, that's Nick Offerman. I don't really like his voice, which is, I guess that's strange. But do what you gotta do. I have been listening to Astray by Emma Donoghue, which is a collection of short stories that are based on little snippets of historical records. And that's interesting. It's kind of hit or miss on the individual stories, but I like the concept, and some of the stories are really good. Some of them I'm just like, huh? Okay, whatever. But most of them I'm really liking. Let's see. And then I've got a bunch of those Overdrive downloads that I need to get through. So I'm not going to list them all off here. I'm pretty much doing those. I don't really have any kind of prioritization in mind for the Overdrive downloads. So I'm pretty much just mood reading those. I did listen to Razorblade Tears. I was on a wait list at the library and realized, no, I'm not going to get that in time. And that's for the Literally Dead book club. When I get my t-shirt, I'll have to show it to you soon. But that is for Literally Dead book club this month. And oh my god, that's brutal. That is a brutal book. It's really good. I really liked it. It's brutal. So all the content warnings, and yeah, there's a lot there. So I think that's going to be a really interesting discussion. And then I've got a few. They're not Overdrive. They are Sora books, but they're on my tablet, which is really really full, and I'm trying to read lots of books on that too, but the Overdrive ones take priority. So it'll be a while before I get to those Sora books on my tablet. And then, Audible had The Pirate Coast by, I want to say Richard Zacks? Okay, yeah, so it's almost the end of February. And this is my February TBR. And, yeah, I've been bumping up against a bunch of storage limits, and also I've been having some data transfer issues, and I think I know I've got the data transfer issues resolved, and for this video I have completely lost track of what I have already told you and shown you. Well, I know I've shown you my print TBR, my physical TBR. And I know I've talked a little bit about some of the ebooks and audiobooks. And
that's just gonna have to do because, like I said, it's almost the end of February, and at this point, calling this the February TBR video is a little ridiculous. Um, but I just want to get this up and done, and yeah. So, but thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with me, and yeah. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, and see you around.